Hello and welcome back to Non-League Plus Sonata, first one of the year. Obviously, after last week's was the last one of the year. Makes sense. Yeah. Um,
Yep.
yeah. As always, going to kick it off with the match reports. I didn't actually go to a match this weekend. I was working, so last minute change at work, so I couldn't get to go. Booked us in the highlights, so I can give a mini match report. But Andrew managed to get to two, so he's going to sandwich me in the middle this week rather than me sandwiching him in the middle. So over to
Yeah,
you.
we will. Yeah, no, you think two matches. What was that? One Saturday, one Monday, being a bank holiday?
Yep.
No, nothing so simple. Both matches on New Year's Day. I happened to notice on the old Footballogy app that Corby Town were playing at 12 o'clock, and 20 minutes away from there, Harborough Town in Market Harborough were playing at 3 o'clock. So I thought, right, easy, get both of them done in one
Both
go.
of them. Yeah.
So I set out on Monday morning and I drove up to Corby and I got there about half hour before the match and yeah, quite a big ground, old grass pitch and stand along one side, terracing at the back end, an open side and a big long clubhouse type thing with food in one corner. Now, I had some cash on me, fortunately, because it was cash only at the gate. It was cash for the tea room, cash for the club shop, cash for the programme, cash for the 50-50. In fact, the only place that was taking card, fortunately, was the food outlet in there. Because by the time I wanted food, I'd virtually run out of cash. So, so anyway, but aside from that, I mean, we bemoan places going card only, so it's nice to see a place having cash, but they've gone too far the other way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Anyway, so so the match was on. It was Corby against AFC Rushden and Diamonds, or AFC Rushden. I can't remember what they're called these days, but anyway.
Yeah. It
Um,
is.
so Corby in 14th place in the Northern Premier League Division 1 Midlands,
That's correct.
and Rushden rock bottom in 20th.
Yeah.
So it's a step 4 game. So we'll see what happens with this one. So we gets going, and very quickly, 5 minutes in, Corby player goes on a weeby run, quick one, finishes off with a quick 1-2 in the box and a very nice finish. 1-0 up, 5 minutes in. Thinking,
Yeah.
oh, here we go, it's going to be a rout. But no, that's not the way it went. After 15 minutes, you could say Corby have had the best of the action, but not by much. It's been relatively close, and they've been basically just finding out about each other so far, working out what's going to work and what isn't. Um, so it sort of levelled out a bit, but just after the half hour, Corby on the attack again. Ball comes in, and they managed to finish that one as well on a close range effort. So it's 2-0. I've been using a new app, a voice to text app, and reading it back, it's decided to call Rushden Russian. So I'll have to
Yeah.
change that. How I say it. So Rushden were then dangerous from set plays, but haven't had many of those. Unfortunately, they had a couple of really good corners, and
Yeah.
it looked like if they were going to get anything, it was going to come from a set play because
Mhm.
their open play wasn't mounting to much. Um, 44 minutes, so just before half time. At this point, I'd been in the food queue for 15 minutes because it was a big crowd. And
Yeah.
the food people, I'll tell you what, they will have slept well Monday night. They were non-stop. So anyway, the big cheer goes up from the Russian fans. They pulled one back. Don't quite know how, because I was in the food queue. So half time comes in. It's Corby 2, Rushden 1. So the
Yeah.
New Year's off to a good start. Got some goals in already.
Mhm.
Um, I get my burger, get my chips. The ketchup's run out, so I
Oh
had
dear.
sriracha sauce on it instead. So that burnt my
Oh.
mouth out. That was good. 47 minutes, so just 2 minutes into the second half, Corby comes airing down on the left into the box, and the shot was tipped away at the far post by the keeper. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, fell at the feet of another Corby player who put it in the net. 3-1 to Corby. So it was a really good save. He's just unfortunate. He got his hand to it right across the goal, got his hand to it. He's just unfortunate that where it landed was right where the Corby player was. There's nothing
Mhm.
else he could have done.
Yeah.
So, but so we get on. The game carries on. 60 minutes comes up. Rushden are having a sustained spell of pressure. They had two corners in a row, looking like they were going to go for a bit of a comeback. And Corby managed to get the ball, break down the right hand side, forced a very good double save from the Rushden keeper this time. Keeps it at 3-1. Basically, their keeper's stopping to be an absolute murder. This is. He's keeping them in the game. From that, Rushden went straight down the other end, get another corner, but still get nothing from it. So it's backwards and forwards, up and down the pitch like mad. 65 minutes, and there's a ball over the top, breaks the Rushden offside line, and a very good shot, and yet another very good save from the Rushden keeper. I'll have to find out who he is. He's quite good. A minute after that, Rushden are through again, and the goalie comes out and gets the ball. So Corby player dives and receives a yellow card. Good reffing, definitely not a penalty. This was at the other end again. There was Corby fans all shouting for a penalty. Definitely not a penalty. Good refereeing. And then only 2 minutes later, this is hectic at this point. 68 minutes, Rushden had pulled one back. They floated across over the far post and it was nodded in. 3-2. So at that point, Corby fans are still moaning that the penalty wasn't awarded moments earlier, but they're still going on and on about that. But it definitely wasn't a penalty. So we're coming into the last 10 minutes, and Corby is still 3-2 up. Certainly starting the old gamesmanship bit now, with a little bit of time wasting going on. Another Corby yellow card for shirt pulling this time. Rushden fought right to the end. It did finish 3-2 to Corby, but Rushden gave good account of themselves. They finished up in injury time with 3 corners, but they couldn't make anything of any of them.
Yeah.
And to sum it up, 12 o'clock kickoff on a bank holiday Monday, 714 people at a Step 4 game is a very, very good crowd indeed.
Yes,
I'm
definitely.
not surprised the food people were quite so busy, because it was a very, very good attendance. So double what we had at the later game, I think. So there were quite a few people. At one point, I don't. For those of you that know the Footballogy app, it tells you on the front page which ground has got the most check-ins for the day. At one point, Corby against Rushden was top of that list.
It was,
So from there, it was rush out to the car park, and there was obviously a lot of other people with the same idea, because there was a lot of people rushing to their cars. And 20-minute drive over to Harborough for game number 2. Just switch map. So this was still Northern Premier League Division 1 Midlands. And we've got Harborough Town against Rugby Town. Harborough topping the league at this stage. They're first. Rugby, third from bottom, down in 18th. So again, you think, well, this could be a bit of a one-sided affair.
Yeah.
It's a very different type of ground to Corby. It's 3G. It's very much your council community setup stadium. 3 or 4 other 3G pitches around. Very modern, all-purpose clubhouse type thing. Some out-the-box stands down one side. Nice, it works, but it is a very generic ground. Nothing much to look at. But it does the job, and with 3G pitches, you're going to get your game on in most conditions.
Yeah.
And they take cards, which is just as well, because I'd run out of cash. So I was thinking, right, if I can't get in with a card, I'm going to have to go and find a cash point now. But no, cards everywhere for this one, not a problem at all. So get in there, and only about 20 minutes before the game starts, so that's good, just enough time to grab a bovril and get ready for the match. So this one kicks off, and Harborough have the upper hand, but Rugby not helped by only 10 minutes into the game, and they're already having to make a substitution due to an injury. Not a good start for them. So after 15 minutes, you wouldn't know there were 17 places separating the teams. It was really pretty even at that point.
Yeah.
And just after the quarter hour, Harborough claim for a penalty. Absolutely nothing in it. The ref was dead right. No penalty. Yeah. I've gone straight on to match number 2 without you talking about your match.
It's fine.
You can do yours in a minute.
Yeah, fine.
One thing I noticed, rugby number 7 has hair longer than Rapunzel. The only reason I knew he was number 7, because at one point it fell to the side and I could actually see his number. But I thought, Christ, you should be up a tower somewhere dangling out for a prince. But no. So after 20 minutes, Harborough get a corner. It goes into the box. pinball all over the place, and the goalie tips it onto the bar. It comes back out to where the corner came in from, gets put straight back in and hit towards the goal, and the keeper tips it over. So he's tipped it onto the bar, it's gone out, come back in, and he's tipped it over. So we've got another goalkeeping display from the lower team going on here. A couple of minutes after that, Harborough turning up the pressure, but Rugby are really defending for their lives and keeping in it. And another minute down the line, and Harborough have a really, I don't know what the guy must have had triple Weetabix for the morning, because the way he hit the ball at this point, it's so flipping hard. He could have taken the goalpost out of the ground, but the Rugby keeper actually saved it, so he's got sore hands. And the resulting corner was cleared out to the left, but nothing further than that, and it's Rugby's goal kick. So after about half hour, Rugby actually get the ball forward for about the first time in the match, and a good shot. It was on target, but the keeper got down to his left and saved it. And Rugby had 2 more corners following that, and both dealt with well. So 33 minutes, Harborough have a long throw right into the box, almost to the penalty box, flicked on just before the near post, headed back across the goal into the net past the keeper. 1-0 to Harborough. Good goal. So long throw, flick on, and nodded back the way it had come. Goalkeeper's going the other way by this time. 1-0. Half time comes, 1-0 to Harborough. They deserve the lead, but Rugby haven't laid down and made it easy for them. So goals in both matches, off to a great start for year 2024. 48 minutes, Harborough put one over the bar. 62 minutes, and the game hasn't really gone anywhere. Not much happening, and it's been raining heavily since half time. There's not a great deal of shelter. I managed to get into the little terracing box with about 50 other people crammed in, sort of like sardines in a can, but at least it was dry in there. So just after the halfway mark of the second half, Harborough put the ball in the box. It took 3 shots before the ball finally found its way between the sticks, and they're 2-0 up. And that's the way it stayed then for most of the rest of the match. Not a lot happening. The rain was really affecting the play. Not the pitch, obviously, but the players. They couldn't see where they were going most of the time. It was that heavy. And right on the 90 minutes, Rugby have a good run down the left into the box and was fouled and given a penalty. And referee correct again. This one was a penalty. They duly scored the penalty, and the game finished 2-1. So Harborough, good value for their win, but well, fair play to Rugby. They gave it a go. So 2 matches, 8 goals, a good day out.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
an empty wallet.
A what?
And an empty wallet.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so all good. So
yeah. Your first game, Corby and Rushden.
Yeah.
Both teams I've seen this season. Corby obviously tore Calder apart. They won 6-0 there.
Yeah.
And Rushden and Diamonds lost 2-1 to Lie. So I just want to touch a little bit on Rushden and Diamonds, because like you said, the keeper played well.
Yeah.
In all honesty, when they played Lie, he didn't have a fat lot to do, but what he did well. And at the time, Lie went top of the table, so to keep them to 2-1.
Yeah.
And looking at the results, I don't think they've been really been turned over. So it looks like the competitive are just not quite able
They've just
to.
not got the final edge, have they? No, they're certainly competitive. Certainly competitive. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully they can. I know that I'll say that they're quite far adrift, I believe.
Yeah.
But hopefully they can string some kind of form together and get
out the mess. Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. I think that if you look at the table, I think it reflects a bit harshly on how they are performing. But we've only seen them play 2 games, so maybe we got lucky and saw them on good days.
Possibly, yeah. But like I say, if their results haven't been that terrible, then they're doing some things right. They just haven't got the final cutting edge, I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a new striker in on loan from Northampton at the moment, so hopefully he can make a difference. So, yeah. Meanwhile, you didn't go to a match, but you watched the highlights. So,
So, although your game was in 2024, mine that I've seen the highlights of and would have gone to if it had it not been for work, was in 2023.
yeah.
Tividale away at Lichfield. I can't really say too much. Like I say, I've only seen the highlights. They're only 3 minutes long. Highlights are available on YouTube. Brooksy TV, quite well known in the Midlands area. Gets to a lot of Midlands games. Does a lot of Lichfield games. In all honesty, his coverage is very, very good. So yeah, if anybody's interested, go and check him out. He's pretty, like I say, he goes to a game pretty much every night of the week if you can, from what I gather. So yeah, there's
Yeah.
plenty of content from him.
Good.
But yeah, so the game itself, first half, I think there was one highlight, maybe two, and it was the ball being put over the bar. So not a lot happened in the first half by the looks of it. So 0-0 at half time, which, for a bit of context, Lichfield are second or third going into this game. And Tividale are the one place above the drop zone, which is 16th. So yeah, quite a big difference in the league position. So 0-0 at half time.
Yeah.
2 minutes into the second half, Lichfield get the ball. Out on a wide right, cross into the box, and Dan Smith, who left Tividale at the end of last season, is there just to poke the ball, divert the ball into the back of the net. Which we all knew was going to happen. Dan played for Tividale for 7 years under Dave King. Top scorer every season, I think, under Dave King, other than the one season with Dimitri. So yeah, we'd all said it before. If Dan plays, he's definitely scoring, which he did. So thanks, Dan. That put Lichfield 1-0 up.
Yeah.
And then the highlights. It's pretty much all Lichfield from the highlights, if I'm honest. He's crossing into the box there, finishing probably not being where it should be. And then the last few highlights are of Tivi. Mainly set pieces and crosses into the box. Couple of issues for the Lichfield defence, but nothing too major. And then obviously Tividale pushing for the equaliser. I think it was about 2 minutes, 87, 88 minutes before the end. Lichfield had kind of won the ball, cross it in from the right. One Lichfield player has gone for it, not hit it cleanly, and it's bounced kindly for another Lichfield player who's poked it into the back post. So 2-0 Lichfield. And then I think there was another couple of chances after that, again, for free kicks and corners for Tividale. But finished 2-0 Lichfield, which isn't a bad result, in all honesty. It's not good for us where we are in the table, but fortunately, there was that many games called off, and we had games in hand and those around us. It hasn't really affected us because I don't think anyone else around us played.
Right. Okay.
We've still got at least one game in hand on most teams around us, so we're still looking okay. But yeah, Lichfield, unbeaten at home in 2023 for the whole calendar year.
Oh, crikey, that's good going.
Yeah, they haven't won every game, but they were unbeaten at home. Yes, they are a very, very good footballing side. I like Lichfield. They're nice people. We got talking to them a bit. That's who we played in the final at Molyneux. They beat us there 1-0, which is not a surprise. They play on 4G, so they play football. So playing at the Molyneux suited them because they could play their football. Always give us a good game. I think we were actually the last team to beat them at home in October or November 2022, and that was in a cup game. And we beat them at Tividale towards the back end of last season as well, so they are beatable, but they are a very, very good side. Yeah, I think Tividale played better than the highlights perhaps suggested. difficult to tell. One, like I said, because I wasn't there. Tividale's Twitter during a game is not a lot. It's kick-off, red card, yellow card, substitutions, goals. That's about it.
Uh-huh.
So I can't get much from their Twitter feed, but Lichfield's Twitter feed looked like we were having quite a bit of play and quite a few chances.
Mm-hmm.
But as I say, the highlights didn't really show that, and I'm not going to say Brooks is one-sided because he's from Lichfield. I don't know if he's from Lichfield, but I know he does a lot with Lichfield. He does a lot with Lichfield, and I'm not going to knock him for showing Lichfield more. That's what if he's for. Well, there's not really much to show.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a few years. He knows what he's doing, so it probably wasn't
exactly.
that. But yeah, so Tividale managed to ruin our Christmas and our New Year's with the results. So yay!
Oh well, lovely. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh well, that was 2023. We don't need to talk about that anymore. We're into 2024 now.
We are indeed.
And we got some plans this year. So, well, big plan for May is non-league finals day. So the FA Trophy and the FA Vase for the last few years, both matches, both finals have been played at Wembley on the same day. Vase first, followed by the Trophy. I've been to the last two.
Yeah.
I believe you're coming to the next one, this year's one as well. So that'll be good. And we shall see who gets there. So it's a good day. The only problem is Wembley won't let you out between the two matches. So once you're in, if you're going to go in for both matches, you're in and you're stuck, which means you're stuck with their own food outlets, and they don't have many of them open because the crowd, I think, tops out at about 40,000. But that's sort of like you will get a lot of people that turn up for the first match and go home, and a lot of people that turn up for the second match and don't bother with the first. There's only a hardy few that stay for both matches. So hopefully Wembley will get their act together and make it a little bit more comfortable between the matches for the people that are staying. But you can understand why they don't. It costs money to put these things on. Anyway, so that's May. Before that, we've got a plan to go down to South Wales, haven't we?
We have indeed.
Llantwit Major. A few episodes ago, we talked about Enfield Town being in the Phoenix Trophy this year, the European non-league trophy competition. Llantwit Major are also in their group, and 17th of February rings a bell. It's a scheduled date for Llantwit Major against Enfield in that competition. So we're aiming to go along for that one.
What? The Danish team.
Oh, no, okay. They're not playing Enfield. They're playing BK Skuld, aren't they?
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, so they're playing the Danish team that I saw at Enfield. So plan is to get down to South Wales for that one. Other than that, my only other plan, I've got 158 different grounds I've been to. I'm aiming to hope to try and hit 200 by the end of this year, this calendar year, which means I've got to get 42 more grounds in between now and 2025.
Yeah.
It's going to be tight.
Yeah.
Especially because just about every ground within a 30-mile radius of Luton I've been to now, so I'm having to travel further and further to do this, but we shall give it a go. So those are my plans for the year.
Yeah.
Your plan is presumably to see Tividale remain in the division they're in.
That's a major goal, yeah. Just on your goal of 200 grains, like I said, 42 grains, 52 weeks in a year. You take the gap between end of season and start of season, and you're looking at pretty much you need to be doing a new ground a week.
Yeah. Going to be tight. Mind you, there are the odd days when leagues do what they call their ground hopper special days, and they stagger the fixtures so you can get 2 or 3 grounds in a day.
Yeah, there is those.
And then you get bank holiday weekends and things when extra games get played, and sometimes you get staggered matches when they get midweek games and Sunday games and things. There's options.
Definitely.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah, definitely. But I think I'm confident you'll get at least to 175 by the end of this year.
Oh, that's your guess, is it? Right, you're going for 175, and I'm going for 200.
No. That's not. I'm saying you'll get to at least 175.
Yeah, all right, okay.
I'm not going to say you won't do 200 because you'll do it just because I've said you won't do 200. But I think if you get above 190, you've done well.
Yeah,
You've done
I
very
think
well.
it's going to be a tough ask. 42 new grounds in a year is
Yeah.
yeah, it's a tough ask. I mean, I certainly do more than that number of games in a year because I
Oh,
managed that last year when I was out for 10 weeks. I still managed 47 games in the year.
yeah.
So games wise, it's possible. Grounds wise, could be pushing it.
Yeah.
So, but then I've already done two.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Um, hang on, is that including those two?
No, that's not including
No,
those.
so you've got to do
It would be,
44
yeah, I
this
still
year.
need 42 more. And, yeah, 42 more on top of those two, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think it's like I said, it's doable. It's just how far you willing to travel.
Yeah, exactly. We shall see.
Yeah.
Time will tell. Like you say,
Um,
work sometimes helps because if I'm away on a Tuesday night for work, I can sometimes find a game where I'm staying, so that can help.
well, I'm sure you can schedule your work around the football. Some weeks.
It's sometimes possible, not
Yeah.
always. Sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, again, my plans obviously non-league final day. It's the first time I've done it. I've been trying to do it for the last so many years, but something's always come up to prevent it. I think there was train
Mhm.
strikes this year that stopped me, wasn't it? Well, last year.
Yeah,
It
something like
was. There
that.
was train strikes that weekend, weren't there? So I was like,
That's right. Yeah,
yeah, and yeah, so that's what stopped me last year. And the year before, there was something as well. It wasn't on the bank holiday weekend, which kind of scuppered things.
yeah. It was on an awkward
Yeah,
date, wasn't it?
yeah. I know it's not on the bank holiday this year, but I planned ahead and booked. Well, I booked the Monday off because it used to be on the Sunday, but it's on the Saturday this year.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they
Um,
moved it to
yeah, because they've got the women's final on the Sunday this year.
Women's
Um,
FA Cup final here.
yeah. Um, so that scuppered things a bit because I booked the holiday, the day off at work, the Monday, double checked it, and it was like, oh, it's a Saturday. So I've now got to work on the Friday, get down to Luton on the Friday night. It's doable. It's doable.
It's doable.
Um,
Yeah,
National Express runs pretty much 24 hours through Luton because of the Stansted and Luton Airport
airports. Yeah,
coach.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a sound coach from Birmingham, so I should be able to get there.
yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, Ladswick Major next month. That's also on my agenda. Um, my major goal for this season is to complete the grounds in the Midland Football League Premier Division.
Oh yeah,
There are two I've not been to.
oh yeah. Which are?
Stairport Swifts, unbelievably, considering it's one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
And Congleton, purely because it's their first season in
Oh
this
yes, but
league.
they've come in from the Northwest Counties League, haven't they?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Um, both could actually be ticked off within the next 4-5 weeks.
Mm,
We've got
okay.
Stockport at some point this month on a Tuesday night, which isn't ideal because of finishing work, but it's doable as long as the trains are behaving. I can get there from work.
Hmm.
Um, and Congleton, I believe, is the 3rd of February. In fact, I think it's Stockport on the Tuesday and then Congleton on the Saturday, so there might be double
Do
within
them
the
both
space
in a
of a
week.
week, is it? Yeah. If
Oh.
it's not, it's Stockport, someone, then Congleton. um, but
I haven't
yeah,
actually looked to see which leagues I'm close to completing this at the moment. I mean, the one I completed the Spartan South Midlands Premier earlier this season, but for this year, I don't
yeah,
know. Don't know.
yeah. Mine's difficult to complete of a league because obviously spending most of my time with Tividale, it's difficult to go to other grounds if they're playing.
Yeah.
and and when they're not playing, it's generally due to bad weather, so most other games are off. So I end up at a
Yeah.
4G, which tends to be the
Yeah.
same 2 or 3. Yeah, but I would like to get to a few more. I've looked at
Yeah.
alternative arrangements for this weekend if the weather doesn't agree, but again, it's Dudley Town or Sutton Coalfield, and I've already been to both of those multiple times.
Right. Okay.
Um,
Division
trying
one.
to think if there's anything else for 2024 for me. Um, I'm at 50 grounds. Like I say, no chance am I going to get to 100 this year. I doubt I'll even get to 60 this year. I might get to 60.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Landwick Way. Well, I'll be on at least 53 if my plans go to stick.
Yeah, you get a 53. If your plans go to plan, then you've
I'll
got
be on
Congleton
53
Starport and
by next
Bandwick
month.
Major. So yeah. So,
Yeah.
I need to do that
We'll
one.
see where we're going in pre-season because I think I did
Mm,
4 new grounds in pre-season this year.
yeah. Yeah, well, the
So,
weather will affect a lot of things, won't it? I mean, have you seen the
yeah.
several grounds have been flooded out this week? I mean, Banbury United is underwater,
Well, that's not a
and
surprise.
most of Worcester is underwater. I don't know about the football ground, but most of the city's
It's nowhere near the
underwater.
river.
Oh, that's all right then. They'll be all right. But
Yeah.
no, Banbury's underwater. So yes,
Is there a river in Banbury?
there's a yes, there
I know
is
there's a
where the
canal.
Charwell goes near. Yeah, the
I've said,
Charwell River goes near, and yeah. So
because I've only ever walked in Banbury. I've only ever walked from the train station along the canal to the shopping centre where we worked,
yeah,
and then
no,
back.
there's a river nearby somewhere anyway. I don't know exactly where it flows, but the Charwell River is in that area as well. So, but it does flood frequently. Banbury Town's been underwater several times in my life that I can remember. So,
Yeah, fair enough. Right.
oh. So what's in the
Yeah.
newspaper? The big one I've noticed today is Marske United have withdrawn from the Northern Premier League. So,
Yes. I've had a quick read of the statement. It's long-winded. I'm not going to go through it all. But essentially, it's a bad news, good news situation, or good news, bad news, whichever you want to say it.
yeah,
Um, I've done what we call in the business we used to be in the shit sandwich.
yeah,
Bit of good news, bit of bad news, bit of good news.
yeah,
So start with the good news. The club has raised enough funds to save itself, or there are enough funds have been raised to save the club.
yeah,
The bad news is they haven't raised enough to be able to finish the season. So they handed a resignation into the Northern Premier League, which has been accepted. Um, I think that's with immediate effect. I don't even think we're going to play X amount of games. It's immediate, I believe.
I believe so. Yeah. So,
But as we said, the other part of the good news, as we said, they've been saved.
yeah,
They will be able to start up and play again next season. It'll just be at a lower level of the pyramid, wherever they can be accommodated.
yeah,
I believe they're step 3 at the minute. I think they're in Northern Premier League Premier Division.
yeah. So probably
Um,
go into 5 or 6, step 5 or 6. So I
yeah,
don't
I
know
was
where
going to say they'll
Mark.
be accommodated at step 4. Um, I'm trying. Where would they go though? Step 5. What potential leagues? I'm trying to think where they are.
Northern Premier League has got East and West and Midlands, hasn't it? So I don't
Yeah,
even
that's
know where
step.
Marske United is.
That's step 4. It's somewhere by the seaside because they're called the Seasiders. I should have done my research of where they're based.
I'm
Are
just
they North
finding
East?
out. Oh, they're Northumbria, I think.
Northumbria.
No, they're not Northumbria. That's where they were playing. Hold on. Right, where the fucking hell is Marske? I was having a laptop open when you're doing this sort of thing, doesn't it? So,
Yep.
where's Marske? Marske by the Sea, Redcar. So that's sort of like, it's North Yorkshire type way.
Okay, so probably North East Counties then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Marske
Yeah.
by the Sea. There it is on a nice little map. Yeah, just outside Middlesbrough.
Yeah, so I'd imagine. Yeah, I can't. I'd be surprised if they'd be accepted into step 4. Um, it'd probably be step 5 or 6 to North East Counties, in all honesty.
Yeah,
But, but we don't make those decisions.
no, absolutely. That's not
Yeah,
Northwest Counties.
I would I would say
Yeah,
potentially step
Northern
5.
Counties East. Northern
Yeah,
Counties East, I think it's called.
yeah,
Who's in there? Let's have a look. Yeah, Garforth, Goole, Maltby, Pickering. Yeah, be somewhere around that lot, I should think.
yeah.
So,
I would say they're more likely to be accepted at step 5 because that's where you'll see most of the reprieve start to happen.
yeah.
So if a team gets relegated, but there's not enough
Mm,
teams in there for the next season, they'll probably place Marske in there before reprieving someone else.
yeah.
Um, which would make sense.
Well, we shall see when they make the decisions in July or whenever it is, June, July time. So, but it's good to see that they haven't gone under completely.
Yeah, that was the
And
most
the other
important
thing
thing.
is, all the junior teams will continue playing through this season as well. So that's good as well.
Yeah, that was the most important thing, as I said, was saving the club.
Yeah.
That could have easily finished this season, but there probably would have been no Marske next season. So, yeah, they go on to say about the costs of running the club at the level
that
they're at
level.
for the size of the town, and it's like yeah, it's bad enough at step 5, so I can only imagine what it's like at step 3.
Well, yeah, if they reckon they needed 120 grand to finish the season, it's an expensive game. So.
Yeah, definitely. So there's that. Like I say, sad that they've had to resign, but at least they're still.
At least they still exist. Yeah. So.
Yes, exactly. Becomes somewhat of one of my favourite things to do in the non-league paper of the weekend now is look out for the big scorelines.
Oh yeah. You've done this before. I like this.
So whereas when I did it the other week, there was 23 or whatever it was. There's only 12 this week, so it's a bit more manageable.
I'll go on then. What we got?
So again, I've only done step 1 to 4 because once you get to step 5, there's just so many leagues to look at. So Bromley 5, Ebbsfleet 1. So there's that. Then there was Concord 3, Hastings 3.
3-3. Yeah, I like the 3-3 draw. Good.
Yep. Haringey 0, Carshalton 6.
Ooh, that's a hurt one.
Yep. Balfour Town 5, Grantham Town 0.
Yeah.
Marske United 0, Pontefract Collieries 4. Ipswich Wanderers 1, Brentwood 6.
Ooh, that's a big one as well. Yeah.
Yep. Malden and Tiptree 4, Walthamstow 0.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave this one till last because it's the biggest one. Then we have Guernsey 4, Sutton Common Rovers or Rangers. I forgot which one it is. 2. I'd probably put R instead of the rest of the word. I think it's Rovers, isn't it?
Sutton Common. I shall find out. You carry on. I'll find out.
Yeah. And then we've got Beckenham 1, Littlehampton 6. Winbourne 4, Bashley 0. Willand Rovers 5, Bolton Rovers 1.
Okay, it's Sutton Common Rovers. There you go. Anyway.
And then the biggest one of the weekend.
Yeah, go on.
Or whenever it was. Chertsey Town 9, Binfield 0. Yeah.
Ouch. That one hurts. I saw a 9-0 when I was up living up in Birmingham.
You did? I know. My phone was buzzing my leg was buzzing every 2 minutes.
That's right. It was Tividale, and they were playing. It was either.
It was the last day of the season.
Was it Bridgenorth? It might have been Bridgenorth. It might have been another one beginning with B.
Bewdley, I think.
Bewdley. It might have been Bewdley.
It was Bewdley or Bridgenorth. It was one of the two by the river.
It was one of the two. Yeah.
Yeah. That was another one in the league, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. Let's have a look, see if I can find it.
And I was stuck at work with my leg buzzing every 2 minutes. Goal.
Yeah.
Goal. I got, thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, that's right. I had a day off and you didn't. That's funny.
It wasn't funny.
Well, it's funny from where I was standing. So, on the side of the pitch.
It's funny from where I was sitting as well because I was supposed to be working, but I wasn't. I was sitting around the back just doing nothing.
Yeah.
That was the joys of being senior at the time.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Ben? I'm really busy. Can't help. Sorry.
Yeah, it was Bridgenorth.
Yeah.
So it was 9-0. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else in the paper worth looking at this week?
A couple of things.
Go on.
So we had obviously the Marske United resignation story.
Yeah.
We have a team called Brandon United from the E-Back Northern League.
E-Back.
Yeah. who have informed the league that they're withdrawing their resignation and they can continue with their fixtures from the 13th of January as a new chairman and management have been appointed. Now, we've obviously missed out somewhere that they had another resignation in.
Yeah.
But another club that's obviously worked out well for them. So, actually, it's quite a common thing at the minute. We're seeing clubs struggling and saying, we need funding to survive.
Yeah.
And again, the FA and the Premier League go on about funding grassroots, and there's clubs constantly in trouble. So clearly, they're not doing enough.
I mean, you look at things like Marske needing 120 grand to finish a season. One Premier League player could fund that.
Yeah.
With no problem at all. We're not talking the Premier League, we're talking one player. On some of the wages they earn at the big clubs, that wouldn't even be a week's wages.
Nope.
For some of the really big players.
Yep, definitely.
And, so it's frightening, really.
Yeah, actually might be a topic we talk about in soon because I've got a few ideas around what can be done. So we might come on to that in a few weeks or so.
Yeah.
Then Heanor Town.
Oh yeah.
I've had a 3-point deduction. So we'll get into this. Again, brief outline because it was a longish statement, so I'm going to write it all down and read it all out. So, essentially, their player, Reese Horn, picked up his 5th yellow card of the season on the 18th of October against Sandy Acre.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, 5th yellow card of the season, the secretary is notified through the whole game system, which is run and managed and administered by the FA.
Yeah.
But he was obviously suspended for one game ban, whatever you call it, for all Saturday football from the 25th of October.
Yeah.
Okay. So on the 28th of October, Heanor have Hereford Pegasus in the FA Vars.
Mm-hmm.
So Reece sits out the game to serve his suspension. Yep.
Yeah.
Input into the whole game system. Yep, suspension's accepted. Well, that's fine. So 4th of November, Reece, as far as they're concerned, served his suspension.
Yeah.
Again, input in the whole game system, they've accepted it. He's played in the game versus Marske United, which Heanor won 4-0.
Yeah.
And then it turns out, actually, he hasn't served his suspension.
Because the FA Bars match didn't count.
Yep.
But the system had told them they had served the suspension.
From what Heanor are telling us, I don't know because I don't use the system. I'll have to ask Leon how it works. But they've appealed it on the basis that the whole game system has accepted the suspension and the wording of all Saturday football.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
To me, that would include things like the FA Bars and the FA Trophy. Definitely.
Yeah. Now, the FA, or wherever it was, or the league, or whatever, I'm assuming it's the FA, have rejected the appeal and said, no, you are losing the 3 points. So there's 2 issues from here. The first one is, we've already touched on this, know the rules of the competitions you're playing in.
Yeah.
Now, it's easy for me to say that, but I'm a volunteer of a Set 5 football club. I know that rule.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, me and Stuart, the Tividale manager, had this conversation going into the second round of the Vars because he's like, right, I've got a player who's on 4 yellows, but he's 3 in the league and 1 in the Vars. So if he gets another 1 in the league, will he be counted 5 overall? And I'm like, I'm pretty confident. No, it's 5 for the league. He's separate. He's 3 in the league. He's separate from his 1 in the Vars.
Yeah.
So if he picks up another yellow card in the league, he's fine.
And
obviously we haven't got another Vars before the Vars game, so he's available for the Vars. I said even if he picks up another 2 yellows before the Vars game, he can still play in the Vars. We had to double check it because I was like, I'm not sure if that was a rule that was brought in temporarily and scrapped.
Right, yeah.
I don't know, but my understanding it is. Now, it took some finding. Because if you read, in all honesty, I say, know the rules of the competition you're playing in. Try finding the FA Vars competition rules for 2023-24 season. They're not even on the FA website.
Trying to find the fixtures and the draw on the FA website is a challenge at times.
I think the most up-to-date rules for the VARs I found are last season, and it doesn't really talk about accumulation of cards. It talks about suspensions and whatnot, but it doesn't talk about accumulation of cards.
Right.
So in the end, we found it. I think we found it through the FA Cup's rules.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for those of you that obviously you're like, what the hell are you two talking about here? So your yellow cards that you pick up in the league are kept separate from and League Cup competitions are kept separate from yellow cards you pick up in FA competitions. So although it's 5 yellow cards for a ban, that is only in the league.
Yeah.
And League Cups. But it's 2 in FA competitions. Which makes sense because if you're lucky, you get.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you get 5 or 6, 7 FA games a season. If you're unlucky, you get 1. But you also have to bear that in mind for going into the next season.
Yes, carries over.
I believe we now have 2 or 3 players that will be suspended for our first game in. Well, it'll be the extra preliminary round of the FA Cup next season. So we've got to make a note somewhere of, right, these players are suspended if they're still with us.
Yeah.
If they're going somewhere
well,
else.
This is what you hope this system would tell you, but
apparently not. If they're still with Tividale next season, if Tividale's still around next season, we've obviously got to keep ourselves aware of that. Any players we bring in, right? How many yellow cards did you get in the VAR or the FA Cup last season? Are you suspended? Are you sure? You'd like to think the other clubs would tell us, but it doesn't always happen. And any players that we know are suspended and go somewhere else, we'll think about telling the other teams. No, in all honesty, if they ask us, they'll tell us.
Absolutely. It's got to be the new team's responsibility to get that information. I mean, if you're asked for it, you provide it, obviously, but I mean, you're not going to necessarily volunteer it. So it'd be nice if people would, but you understand why they don't. So.
Yeah, but then my other issue. So like I say, know the rules of the competition you're playing in, but it can be difficult to track them down sometimes. Then the other issue, the whole game system just doesn't seem fit for purpose, which by extension sums up the FA in its current state.
Agreed. Yeah.
So the registering of players every season, I think, is it the 1st of July? Yeah, 1st of July, you can register new players every season. You can guarantee every season the whole game system goes down for maintenance on the 1st of July. Bear in mind, we've got between the end of May and the start of July to get this sorted.
Yeah.
Every season, you can register your players from today. Oh, he's not available till the 4th. For it's down for maintenance. We're like, really? You can't even get that right. But yeah, for the whole game system to accept that he served his suspension in the game where he wasn't suspended. Now, if Heanor had sat the player under the assumption that he was suspended, and then it still showed that he was suspended going into the pinch bet game, that then allows Heanor to look at it and go, is this right? And question it and go to the FA saying, is this right? And then the FA can turn around and say, well, yeah, it only applies to the league. But the fact that it's accepted it, I think the FA have got to take some responsibility there and say, yeah, you know what, you're wrong, but the system has kind of misled you.
The system hasn't helped, but they won't, because they won't take responsibility for it. So, oh well, poor old Heanor. Never mind, they'll get over it.
Whether the one thing I'm unclear of is if they've effectively lost the 3 points and have been given to pinchback, or if they've got to replay the game. That wasn't really covered in the statement, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Given the situation of the whole game system, I would like to think that the game will be replayed.
You would hope so, yeah.
But who knows with the FA? and the leagues.
Yeah.
And then the final thing for this weekend is it's FA Cup third round weekend,
It is.
and there are 4 non-league teams left.
Chesterfield,
Yep,
they're
they're
what
playing
they're
Watford.
playing.
Watford away at 3 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah.
Do you know the other 3?
Aldershot aren't in anymore, are they?
They are. They have West Brom away Sunday at 2 o'clock.
Okay, that's 2. I'm doing all right.
2 more.
Bromley?
Nope.
No, bugger. Oh, I don't know.
Stop
I'm
googling it.
just Notts County. No, Notts
Nope.
County aren't non-league anymore.
No, they're League Two. So it's Maidstone.
Maidstone, right? Okay, yeah.
They're playing Stevenage at 12:30 on Saturday.
Oh, they've got a chance with that one. Stevenage are rubbish.
And Stevenage are doing pretty well this year, I think, aren't they?
Who?
Stevenage, I
Oxford
think
beat
they're doing.
Stevenage. I don't really care about Stevenage. Oxford beat them 3-1. I went. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And the
And
fourth
then
team?
Newport against Eastleigh on again Saturday at 3 o'clock.
So Eastleigh are non-league, aren't they? Newport aren't. So
Yeah.
Eastleigh, I mean, Eastleigh could do something there, and Maidstone could do something against Stevenage. I don't think Aldershot or Chesterfield have got a chance in hell, but
I don't know. Have you seen the Albion play this season? And I can't see us putting a majorly strong side out, so we could seriously underestimate those. They beat Stockport in the last round, and Stockport are flying high at the top of League Two. So
there is that, yeah. So, I mean, there could be a shock.
And Chesterfield are flying high as well. So, in all honesty, if Watford underestimate them as well.
Yeah.
But as you say, you on paper you would say Maidstone and Eastleigh have got the best chance.
Yeah.
So
And they're all
obviously
National League, aren't they, those 4?
they are, yes. So
So
obviously
we've got nobody lower than step 1 of non-league this time in third round.
not in the third round now.
No.
So
Oh, well.
4 non-league teams.
Yeah.
So Saturday 12:30, 2 at 3 o'clock, 1 at 2 o'clock on Sunday. How many are on the TV?
I think probably one of them.
None.
None of them. No non-league
Nope.
on TV.
Nope. Which brings
Mind
me on to
you, I mean, if you're looking at TV, you have got Liverpool, Arsenal, you have got Newcastle, Sunderland. Now, regardless of what other teams are on, those 2 are must-show games.
100%. So I'll go through the TV games, and these are in order of when they're on. I haven't written the times down. There's one on now, which we know, Palace v
Crystal
Everton.
Palace, Everton, it's 0-0 at half-time. So.
Yeah. Tomorrow night we've got Spurs versus Burnley.
Yeah.
Then we've got Middlesbrough versus Villa.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. Skipped a couple there. Sunderland versus Newcastle.
Yeah.
Chelsea versus Preston North End.
Don't need to watch that one.
Yeah. Then we've got Middlesbrough versus Villa. Then we've
Don't need to watch
got
that one.
Man City versus Huddersfield.
Nah, not interesting.
Shrewsbury v Wrexham. Arsenal, Liverpool, and Wigan, Man United. So
yeah, I mean, there's at least 2 or 3 of those that could make way for a non-league team. Certainly.
So I'm not being funny. Palace v Everton. Why?
Yeah, exactly.
Spurs v Burnley. Why?
Yeah.
I work with a Tottenham fan. In fact, my manager is a Tottenham fan, and even he's turned around and said, "I'm only going because I can get a ticket for it."
Yeah.
he struggles to get tickets for Spurs because that's what after now.
Yeah.
Because other than that, he goes, why would anyone want to watch that on the telly other than a Spurs and a Burnley fan? I have no idea. Sunderland v Newcastle, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Chelsea versus Preston North End. I can take it or I can leave it. I can see why it's been picked. Borough v Villa, again, both teams are flying high in their respective leagues, so I understand that.
Yeah.
But again, yeah. Man City v Huddersfield, obviously, because it's Man City.
Yeah, but then they're not top of the league at the moment, so they don't deserve a place in that. So there you go.
No, Shrewsbury v Wrexham, yes, 100%. Somewhat of a derby.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's got to be on. So.
Yeah. Arsenal v Liverpool, again, as you say, 100% the game people want to watch.
Yeah.
Wigan v Man United, again, is one of those I can take or leave. Yeah. I can see why it's been picked. It's a Lancashire derby, I suppose.
Yeah.
Then I've got a list of a few games which I would rather have seen on the telly than Palace v
Yeah.
Everton, Spurs v Burnley.
Mm.
Obviously, all four of the non-league teams I'd rather see on the telly
Yeah.
at this stage. I mean, I think it's 50 grand, is it, TV rights?
It's a
Might,
decent sum of money. Yeah.
it might be closer to 100 now, given the stage they're at.
Yeah.
But what's 100 grand to Spurs and Burnley and Palace and Everton?
Yeah.
And we've just stated to a non-league club, even in National League.
That's a big amount. That makes a
Yeah,
difference between for a season, definitely. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So for a start, straight off the bat, around there, Southampton versus Walsall. Yes, Walsall have already been on the telly for the last 2 rounds, but I don't care. It's Championship versus League Two.
Yeah.
We then have West Ham versus Bristol City. Plymouth versus Sutton, which again is Championship versus League Two.
Yeah.
I can't read my writing. Hang on. There we go. Then we've got Norwich versus Bristol Rovers, which I think is Bristol Rovers League One now.
I think they might be. Yes.
They usually float between the two, don't they?
Yeah. Great. Sorry, which one was that one?
Bristol Rovers.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know where they are. I think they're League One because I think Oxford have played them this season. So
Yeah, I think they are now as well. Yeah. And we've also got Blackburn versus Cambridge United, which you're going to say you don't really want to watch them, but still.
no, not interested. Next.
But still, it's a big gap in the league. And then another Premier League team, which I don't understand why this one's not been picked over either Palace v Everton or Spurs v Burnley. It's Gillingham v Sheffield United.
Yeah, yeah. I can see why that would be a better game.
So it baffles me. And there's people they're saying, "Oh, it's what games do people want to see?" I'm like, well, ain't being funny. I'd rather watch Gillingham versus Sheffield United than Palace v Everton, which I can see another two times this in the season anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That would be my point. I mean, it's a normal Premier League match. It's going to be on twice anyway. So
Yeah. And like you say, Sunderland Newcastle, yes, that's going to pull the viewers.
that's
Liverpool
going to pull
Arsenal,
the viewers. Absolutely, Arsenal, Liverpool will pull the viewers. The rest of them, yeah, Man City. You're right. They're a big team these days. That will pull viewers because there's a lot of bandwagoners on them from the last 10 years. So.
yeah,
But some of
and
the others.
yeah, yes, okay. There's a chance that some of these teams could be embarrassed on television, but
Yeah.
it's not just that. It's about the exposure for the club.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Aldershot has been picked for extended highlights, but so they get some kind of money, but it's not what
Yeah.
that would have been if it were live.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think,
Yeah, it's just a shame. When you've only got 4 teams that have made it there and you're televising this many matches anyway, it wouldn't hurt to at least show a couple of them.
yeah, definitely. And as much as I'd like to blame the FA, I can't really blame the FA for this one. It's BBC and ITV; it's their choice. They choose the
Yeah.
games, so
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, disappointing, but
That's
oh
the
well.
way it is. Anyway, we shall see if we've still got any in the 4th round when we next convene next week.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
We'll
surprised if
know
the
by
form's
then.
still there. Yeah, honestly. Monday night the draw
Yeah.
before the Wigan and Man United game, which I find odd. But yeah, whatever happened to the Saturday afternoon 5 o'clock FA Cup draw? Sunday afternoon.
Well, they moved it for television, didn't they? There you go.
It used to be on the telly anyway. I used to tune in, watch it on the telly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I know, but they'd have to move it to because they spread the matches out so much further now.
yeah, which is fair enough. But still, it's like
I remember the day when all your matches
yeah,
were at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon.
yeah. No, yeah, but it's one of them. I don't understand why they've moved the draw. Yes, and you can, and I know, like you just said, it's because there's still a game to play, but they're playing the game after the draw anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So why not do it again after the late game on the Sunday like they used to?
Could do.
Is it
Anyway,
is it they're hoping that the teams who are playing haven't seen the draw or what? I don't know.
don't know. Well, there
Yeah,
we go. Madness.
yeah.
Hmm. So where are you
But yeah,
going this Saturday?
uh, um, I don't know if I am going to a game this weekend. It's Amy's birthday on Sunday, so I'm not sure what the plans are for the weekend yet.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah.
And it's a milestone. It's a landmark of
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah.
she ain't 40 already.
Eh?
I said she ain't 40 already. So.
Oh, don't let her hear that. Yeah, so I'm not sure what's happening. Hopefully, Tividale at home to Darlaston. So hopefully,
Hopefully, yeah,
whereas
you might be able to get a pass for that one. So.
yeah, but I definitely haven't got one midweek because we're away for a couple of days,
Oh,
Monday
you
to.
got Birmingham Senior Cup on Tuesday anyway, haven't you?
I'm not there. I'm away.
Oh, are you? All right.
Yeah,
Fair
we're
enough.
going away because Amy is 30 on Sunday, then my dad's on 60 on Monday. So
Oh,
it's
right. Okay. Yeah.
a very expensive weekend for me.
That's a nice birthday weekend. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we are going to visit my dad hopefully on Monday, and then we're having a couple of nights away somewhere in that area. Couple of nights in Bromyard.
Well, I will
So,
certainly have a match report for next week.
any
Just
idea
don't
where you're
know
going,
where.
or
Um,
okay.
I was just having a look to see
Any
where's
new grains?
close.
Any new grains you can get in?
Yes, there is, and I've just got
Right.
to work out where the pigging thing is that I need to go to. Hold on. So Saturday, I've been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I've got to go down to the 15th match in distance-wise from me to be able to find new ground.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'll go to this one or not. Bovingdon FC against Caddington FC in the
Step
Spartan
7.
South Midlands Division 2 Cup. That's
Step 7.
Step 7 non-league cup.
Yeah.
Beyond that, the next one I haven't been to is Oracle Components in the Hertfordshire Senior County League. That's a Step 7. The nearest one I've got of any of the top 6 sections is Hadley, which is down by Barnet. I haven't been there before, so I might go there. That's Step 4 match, so might get to that one. So
Yeah, it's like the ULEZ.
I don't know. If I don't go to that one, it
Yeah.
might be St Margaret's-Bury, which over Essex way. They're in the Eastern Counties First Division South, so that's a possibility as well. So
What's the weather looking like for you? For you?
it's crap at the moment, but I'm hoping it'll be better by the weekend. So
See, we've been crap all week, but it's supposed to be okay now. It's been dry today,
yeah,
and it's supposed to be dry for the rest of the week. So
yeah.
the word is if it stays dry, we should be okay for Saturday. But you
Yeah.
never know.
No, absolutely. Well,
So
until next time, sir.
yeah,
Weather
you got to try and
permitting,
get
we'll have
two in.
matches to talk about.
Yeah, you got to try and get two in case I can't get any in.
Yeah, I might get a Tuesday one in as well, but I don't know what Tuesday's matches are, so I'll have to look at that. But
All right.
yeah, there's a good chance I'll get two in, because if I want to win 200 crowns, I'm going to have to. So,
Yeah.
Right,
So,
wind it up,
right.
sir. Let's go home.
Yeah, have a good one.
Yeah,
Shorter this week, so thanks.
yeah. We'll
We've learned a
see you
lesson from
next time.
last week. Yeah. See you next time.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.